Hi, everyone. I am Shishir Mishra. I'm an author, a business consultant, and a digital marketer who helps businesses grow. So, today I have my own YouTube channel, The Strategy Ninja. And today, in the very first day of 2021, I have with me a female entrepreneur, and she's Jewel Spencer. Welcome, Jewel. Welcome to my channel, The Strategy Ninja. And before we start, I would request you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, you will find insights from entrepreneurs around the globe. You will find videos from technology entrepreneurs. You will find videos from people who are authors as well as practitioners. So that would be interesting. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let's start. I have with me the CEO and the founder of Intentional Media LLC for the everyday entrepreneur.
Hi, thank you for having me, Shishir.
It's my pleasure to have you on my channel. And let's start with her mantra. So the mantra for her business is like, we are the believers of no bullshit. So Jewel, tell me, what does this exactly mean as a female entrepreneur? What do you mean by that we are not believer of any bullshit?
Yeah, so this is kind of like an ode to a lot of people in the entrepreneurial world or the dreamers of the world that one, our reputation, like keep your word and create. And then two, we want to change the narrative in media and in the online business community that, you can create business with integrity and be an expert in just being a good human being first, and then having a solid business to where our value to you is so much more than just our results.
That's interesting. So tell me, as a female entrepreneur, do you get across a lot of bullshit, like women? It would be difficult for a woman or stuff like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think, I mean, I'm just assuming here, but this is what I've encountered, is that people think that maybe women don't have strategy in business as much as maybe you think. So I will be in meetings and I always have an outcome. I always have a desired result. I want to convey a message. I want to make sure my reputation is solid. My strategy is playing a game, right? Like it's kind of like a chess game and thinking 5-10 moves ahead, to where some people think maybe I'm just trying to, be like they will like me. But in reality, I don't care if you like me. I care that you like my business, my product, my services, and my strategy. So it has nothing to do with likability. So does that answer your question?
Yes. So there, I think we both agree that strategy is important for success more than
Yep.
anything.
I know. That's why I was like jumped on it to say yes, because you're the strategy ninja. So I was like, yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So tell me, Jewel, tell me more about what is this Intentional Media LLC, and what do
Yeah.
you offer?
Okay, perfect. So I've owned businesses in the past, and I found there's this not in alignment with your desire to create and then execution. So Intentional Media LLC was really about taking the worst things of being an entrepreneur and all the failures and just pushing them to the forefront and realizing that like we got your back and we're going to be no bullshit, like in your face, because it's what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Running your business with your friends, calling them, should I do this? They're going to, of course, be agreeable because they love you. We don't love you. We love what you can do, because that's investing in the long-term you. So what Intentional Media does is, so we offer business development, we offer brand management, graphic and website design services. So it's kind of like a triple threat that we support you on all fronts. And the really big thing that I like to make sure to tell people is like, we're not coaching you. We're not going to teach you how to make money on the internet. We're going to teach you how to be the best version of you. And then also we're going to walk you through getting your first website, creating your course, launching a merch line, figuring out all the technical things, just because our strategy is that we believe in ourselves. We have the skills, we have the knowledge, and guess what? You can too. But hey, it might take a little bit of extra work that you may not understand or you may not want to do. We are going to force you to do it. We're going to say, you want a successful business? Guess what? No shortcuts here.
Okay. So I think there is where this line, we are the productivity police for the micro influencers of the world. So what do you mean by micro influencers? If you can elaborate more on this.
Yeah. So micro influencers, the technical term is 0 to 100,000 subscribers on any channel, any platform. So really, if you have 100,000 subscribers or 99,000, you are a micro influencer. But what we like to really focus our niche on is the 0 to 10,000. Okay, because 0 meaning you just have a concept, an idea, and you have, some good skills and abilities, but no execution. And then anywhere in between that. And then as far as the productivity police goes, is that we do your content calendar. We figure out the efficiency in your system and identify bottlenecks. And if it's as simple as, oh, you've been trying to do something, and then I look at your schedule and I'm like, but why are you sleeping 10 hours a day? Why are you watching Netflix? You're complaining that you're too busy, but seriously, you cannot, like, put down your phone. How many books have you read lately? So the productivity police, meaning like, we're authoritative in your long-term success, and we're going to call you on that.
So it's something like if you go to a gym and you have a personal trainer. So the personal trainer ensures that you achieve your target. If you want to shed weight, so you don't make any excuses, or you don't, like, the personal trainers keep a reality check. So you are there to keep a reality check on, like, the progress and how the execution is taking place for a micro.
100%. I think the difference between a personal trainer, though, is like, so their strategy is they relationship build with their expert skills, I think. But I don't know about you, but when I have a personal trainer, I would really like for them to follow me home and slap food out of my hand and then yell at me. We're those people. When I created Intentional Media LLC, I thought, okay, it's really nice to say, like, oh, we're going to help you do this. And like say a lot of yeses. And being a woman, that's like, for some reason, we all grow up thinking that we're just supposed to say yes to everything. And yet we don't have the same opportunity afforded to us. And so when I built this business, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be somebody that's very authoritative and that says no because it's for you. So I'm a fan of that. So as far as like the personal training, we are going to personal train your business and then some. And we back that up. We keep our word. That's our reputation.
And if I'm not wrong, most of the people employed in your business are women as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We actually have a good mixture. Sometimes we have like influxes of men. Primarily, I see a lot of men in sales and then a lot of women in our organizational operations. So, but I'm actively trying to change that because I think that to be a good entrepreneur, you have got to master sales. That is your first, like, you can go and create, but you have got to sell what you create.
Exactly.
So everyone in my company has to do sales.
Okay, that's interesting. So to talk a little about your background, so can you give us a background on when did you started off as a business owner and what was your motivation? So give us a little background of your education as well as your motivation for running your own show.
Yeah, sure. So I think I was always like growing up very creative and motivated, and I'm a results-based person. So that's just always my spirit. I actually have a chronic vertigo disorder. So I missed a lot of school. I couldn't get out of bed. And I had a little wiener dog, and that I just really wanted to bake dog treats. So I ended up baking him dog treats, and then I ended up selling it to my friends and family. And then I got into a couple pet stores, and it was really successful, but people don't do that. So I stopped doing that, and I finished school. I was a manager on a military base in Washington for 4 years. And it wasn't until after, my first year of marriage and I had a baby, I realized that I really wanted to do something else. I had leadership skills, but I wanted to create. That's just always what I keep falling back to. So I started the bakery again, and I did it on like a huge scale. And I ended up, scaling within 3 years and operating out of a dozen farmers markets. And I had multiple employees. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when it started to really, really take off, I just was like, this isn't what I want to do. So I went back to college and I double majored, and I was actually going to be a police officer. And because I'm all about policy and that way of thinking. And then I just keep, coming back to business. I worked in real estate for, did some transactions and did a couple other businesses as far as like litigation coaching. And it really, I just felt like I was getting called back. People were requesting services. And I realized over like this, this decade, I had this compound effect of like, I have these skills. I really need to just lean, all in. And, my psychology comes in, and I want to understand people. It's so important to me as I understand communication and being an empathetic leader. And then COVID hit, right? And it completely changed the game. And for me, it was super, super positive. So COVID kind of forced intentional media, like threw it in the fire, forced it, and it became a diamond. You know what I mean? And I'm just not going to stop. I committed 10 years to this. And as a entrepreneur, I have got to go all in. I'm sick of half-assing everything, right?
So I think like 2020 has been a year where a lot of people said that it was the worst year of their life, and they had. We know that
I hear that all day long with clients. But 2020.
And yes, I totally agree. And for some people, they have taken this adversity and challenges to like launch new businesses and do take like the time they have got due to lockdowns and due to the work from home culture. There is a lot of innovation that is coming out of this pandemic, and a lot of people are like there is a lot of you can say people who are aspiring to do something. They have started doing that. So I think that it's all in how you look at the glass, whether you want to look at as half empty or half full.
Yeah. Well, I think even more so, you look at the glass half full, guess what? Drink it and go work out. Like, let's keep going with this. Like, people can have this idea and, oh, you know what? This year is going to cultivate something in me to create. Now what? Right? So I think for 2020, for me, I just realized like I've got to go even more like all in. So yeah.
So there is one interesting thing that we discussed earlier as well, that you are managing being a mom of two kids. One is Milo, another one is Jude, and one is 7 years old, and other one is 1 year old. So
Yep.
it is always when we talk about women in as business owners, there is always one thing which is discussed, like how will they manage the responsibility as a mother and as a business owner. So I want to like know from you as a uh, who is doing her own thing, how you
Yeah.
handle this situation, or how you handle being a mother and a CEO.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I like your choice of words when you said, how do we, how do I manage being a mom and CEO versus like, how do I balance it? How do I choose? Because for me, that's something really huge that in 2021, I want to really change the narrative. And the fact that I made a choice to become a CEO, and now it's up to managing, maintaining, and advancing that. I also made a choice, to become a mother. And those two things are just, they're so separate to me. And it's just complete, it's crazy that people think that you have to sacrifice, you're either a bad mom or you can have a full-time career. It's silly to me. It really is. I am the best mom I've ever been today because of my business. I cannot be an as engaged, present, loving, empathetic mom because when I'm creating in my business and leading and using 100% of my human ability, then when I go home, I get to be mom. And I just think like in the last 5 years is especially with YouTube, there's been this thing of like work at home, mom life, boss life, all those things. And it's just, to me, it's silly. Like one, I'm not the person to work at home. Like I just don't do that. I really like going home and being mom and coming back to work and being CEO. So I think women need to understand, I would like them to understand that it's okay to be fully you and then clock off of a career and go home and be fully mom. Those two things can like live together, but also be very, very separate. Like at work, most of my clients don't even know I have kids. Why would I talk about my kids? It's weird. It's bizarre. If people if it's relevant to the client, if it's helpful for them in their strategy, sure, right? That's a good strategy. That's, relating to my client, understanding their barriers, their issues. But like being a mom isn't my identity.
Yes. So you have given a very good insight, like that it's not conflicting being a mother and being a CEO. These are the two different things, and you can handle both the things efficiently if you want to
Yeah.
do that. So it's all
Yeah.
about how you uh, do it efficiently and how you manage things. It's not something that it's not a challenge, but it's just how you manage your personal and your professional world.
Yeah. It's not a challenge at all. And the fact that I love my job and I love my kids. That's not challenge. I'm not going to be overwhelmed at that. That's the choice. And I love my life with those two very, very diverse paths that I've made. And I love being both. So,
So I coming to your, like we were discussing about what is this unapologetic success, and what is your killer strategy for subjective success. So throw some light on you being
yeah.
working 15 hours a day. So how do you manage your goals? uh,
Yeah. So I think this is about, first off, this is an ode to work ethic for me. Like I love work ethic and what that does for my life. But secondly, like understanding what is success, and that success is so subjective, right? Like I'll get clients all the time that people come in and originally are like, yeah, I want to make $1 million. I want all these, things. I want that big house and all that stuff. But really, when we go even deeper, they just want freedom. And freedom is simply paying the bills, whether that's making $10,000 apart from your job a year but it's solely based off of what you're creating. That's success. They're like, oh my gosh, I never thought I could make money off of this book or this product. And really, it's not the narrative of success nowadays. It's so crazy. And it pisses me off when I think about it, because I'm like, $1 million, okay, that's great, but like you can't get up on time. What are you doing? So it's being unapologetic in success is a hard thing to do. And I hope that I can create a different narrative and cultivate resiliency in people.
So I agree on that with you that in today's social media world, success
Mhm.
is being like glamorized. People are always talking about success, that what success is, what it means to be successful, what it means to be like achieving the goals you wish to achieve. But nobody is talking about the efforts that it takes to reach to the point.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
and the magic that happens is in the efforts and in the consistency. So I there was very interesting line that you had like tagline that you had used for your business, that is for everyday entrepreneurs. So I think it's the magic happens in every day. So
Yep.
so if someone wants to reach out, they can mail you on info at intentionalmediallc.com, and your
Yeah.
website, they can find your website, that is intentionalmediallc.com.
Yes. And you know what, Shashir, I think that you and I coming together, this is a really good time that we can challenge your viewers and subscribers to say, take action. So take action and subscribe to Shashir's channel right now. Take action and email me your questions, right? Email Shashir about his experience. He has, I mean, he's written an amazing book on, digital marketing, and you have so much knowledge and stuff, right? Like, reach out to the people that you see online and ask questions, learn, do more. People want to talk about the law of attraction. What about the law of action, right?
Exactly. And I think no law works for you if you don't work for yourself. So every you increase your odds of success by your pure dedication and your efforts. And I think that there would be days when you have to motivate yourself. So we were talking about consistency. So I think, what do you think? Like, there are good days and there are bad days. So when there are bad days, how do you like come out of the self pity at times, or like let's say the failures you come across or the challenges you come across? So how do you deal with them?
Yeah. Well, that's really, I feel like there's so many, there's so much there to that question. Is that really, I fundamentally teach people and I teach myself that you have got to be aggressively patient in consistency. Like, if you're looking around and people are doing more and doing better, and in your perception, and they just feel like they have so much, like, just be consistent in your efforts and you will win, right? And so how do I deal with those failures and stuff? I create rules to myself for myself. So I create physical rules to have my body and my brain communicate differently, because a lot of people let their brain rule their body so they'll stop working, right? So I force myself to have, so I have time management systems. So I have whiteboard techniques. I wear a watch every single day. I have computer notifications that, systems that I've set in place for me to ultimately win, but it wasn't always like that, right? So I really had to understand what I wanted for myself. But going even deeper, I had to look at my standards. Were they high or low? What do I expect from myself? As the CEO, I expect my butt to be in this chair every day before 6 a.m. And I'm the last one to turn off the light switch as well, right? Like, I'm going to push forward because that's my expectation of myself. So I really would challenge you to look at your expectations. Look at your results around you, right? Is my house dirty or clean? Do I have money? Do I not? How's my relationship? How's my business? How is my book I've been working on for 3 years? And understand where is your expectations with yourself? Where is your standards? Where do they live at?
So I would want to ask you one thing, like there are a lot of stresses that you have to deal with every day as a business owner.
Yeah.
So what you do to relax your mind, or what are your interest area? How do you like cope with stress? Like what would be for you an ideal way to relax yourself and relax your mind?
Okay, so I think most people would think that the answer would be Well, I go home and I have my hobbies and I have my life, but really de-stressing myself is about being super present in the moment and understanding, like, first of all, why am I stressed? Like, why is this happening? Don't let it just like ride, like a wave, just push you out and just like ruin your day or your moment or your productivity. I really have to sit in that and figure out, and then I have to actively walk my brain out of that stress like forest I've put myself in. So I try to be super present. Another thing that because I know about myself, is that I'm a results-based person. Okay. So I'm so stressed and it's kind of hitting me and I'm overwhelmed. The best way to solve that is to get it done. I'm not going to take a break because I'm stressed. I'm going to finish it because the finish line feels so much better than me going and taking a walk around the block. And trust me, I've been that, person in my life where, I really have to understand like mental health and stuff. Like, I'm a mom too, that comes up, right? Personally. But really, what I think people hit this wall every few years, sometimes, sooner, depending on where they're at in their life, if their efforts have been, kind of up and down, is that they get frustrated with themselves that they're not where they want to be. But you can change that in those 2 years, 2 months, 2 days. If you just look and if you stop working, you're going to be stressed again in 2 days and in 2 months. Work your butt off and then enjoy your efforts after the fact.
So,
I mean, that's what.
if you have one advice for the upcoming female business owners, what would it be? Like anyone who wants to start their own business, what would be the one thing you will say to them as a motivation to start their own thing?
Okay. Well, because I'm super realistic and I don't like to just give advice, I like to give tools. I would say get a watch that's not attached to a freaking cell phone. Get like a cheap, dinky watch, because when you have a watch on, you have the power to look at your time and value your time and understand that you are in control of what your body is doing, right? So get a $10 watch that you can lose or break and then replace it again next week. And then also understand that you are supposed to be where you are supposed to be, right? And it's not harder for you than it's harder for me, right? So it's as hard as you want to make it.
Okay, that's
Okay.
really insightful. That's insightful.
Yeah. Just keep,
I
mean, I'm like, when I go into meetings, I think when I get nervous or if I'm like, holy crap, am I really like, is this really happening? Right? Like, I'm in front of these people, I'm doing this thing, I'm in this high point of my life, right? That's when self-doubt comes in. And then I immediately am like, no, this seat is for me. This has my name on it. I'm supposed to be here. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. So that was like very motivating and inspiring for someone who wants to start their own thing, especially as a
Yep.
woman, because being a strong-headed woman is like it's a asset in the world of like the tough world of business.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Joel, it was really inspiring. It was a pleasure talking to you. I got a lot of insights, and I also picked up a lot of points that would help me out in in this year 2021. So for everyone who is watching this video, you will find the links to Jules' website, Intentional LLC, in the description. And I will request you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will also find a link to my book, Amazon link to my book. And you can purchase the print version, or also you can purchase the Kindle version from Amazon.com. The name of my book is From Starting Small to Winning Big, the definitive digital marketing guide for startup entrepreneurs. And it was recently selected by Harvard Business Publishing to be added to their education website. So thanks a lot, Jewel. I think you have to catch you have a lot of things on your plate for the day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
thanks a
but
lot for your time, and have a nice day, and keep shining as you are.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Shishir. And I really appreciate you providing me with this platform. And I just hope that what people see from this video is that there's just no difference between you and I. You and I might have a little bit more expertise, right? But the only difference is you and I are doing it. We set up this meeting, we hit record, we're doing it. You're going to edit it and put it out on your YouTube channel for the world to consume. You're doing it. That's the only difference, is action, is momentum.
Exactly. I
Okay.
totally agree on that. It's not not only the strategy, it's the execution that matters. And when you are
Yep.
taking, you have decided to take the step, don't think twice and do the action, because that brings in the results and nothing else.
Yep. Manage your choices, your decisions, and get it done.
So thanks a lot, Jewel, for your time, and I am signing off for the day.
Okay.
And thanks a lot. It was really insightful session, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of if you have any questions, have any queries, please
Okay.
comment, and you can reach out to Jewel. You will find all the information in the description of this video.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.